Alright, before we get anything done, let me get this out of the way, like my little fanboy reaction. Alright? Holy shit, we're getting it! It looks so great! It's got Skyrim! Ah! Okay, back to that. Okay, now that I killed your headphones. Alright, Nintendo Switch. Just announced today. Looks incredibly awesome. Looks really cool. Why I start thinking of the proper words to say this, let me show you the trailer. Also, Nintendo, feel free. I can already tell you your copyright you strike me right now. I can see it from here. You got the gun pointed. You're ready. You're just waiting to pull that trigger. You're waiting for me to click upload. Then you're pulling that trigger. Alright, enough of that. Here's the trailer.
Nintendo Switch.
As you can see, Nintendo is a traditional Nintendo reveal trailer for consoles usually. You starts out Breath of the Wild. This faggot right here has got a fucking 1970s fan sitting next to his TV. I don't know why. Big Five Nights at Freddy fan, I guess. Otherwise, the whole thing with the Nintendo Switch is that you can see right there. It's weird design. It's got a traditional controller by the looks of it, but you plug it into the sides of the tablet, pull it up, then you switch. You switch from your TV to the tablet. Back and forth. So the tablet's not a main priority of the thing. It looks like it's just going to be its own thing. But the big questions are, what's the battery life to it? How is it going to, interact with the console TV and all that? Because if you look at it, Nintendo must be really good at hiding the technology in this thing, because it's got Skyrim. You can run Skyrim on the go with it. And judging by the thickness and all that, Nintendo's compacting a shit ton of hardware into this thing. A lot of hardware. And my guess would be, if you look back and forth, there's going to be a big dip in quality. I imagine, like, on your TV, you might be able to get maybe even 4K out of this, but probably 1080p, 720p. On the go, I imagine it's going to drop to 480p, 320p. Or maybe you can push 720i or something. I don't know. But your frame rate's probably going to drop. It'll run 60 on TV. Obviously, it'll run 30 when you have it to go. So don't expect it like, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to go, because this is obviously going to be something people are going to talk about later. They're going to start bitching and moaning, saying, well, why can't I, when I'm on the go, get my 60 frames per second when I'm playing? You're not, because you realize you're getting console quality content on a fucking handheld that you can plug into your TV. It's a TV handheld hybrid. It's a goddamn Prius of Nintendo. It's so beautiful. I want it. It's going to be efficient, beautiful. It's going to be great. It's going to have a traditional 3D Mario game on it that looks to not be a fucking shitty goddamn new Super Mario Brothers style bullshit. The 3D World garbage. It looks like it's going to be a traditional 3D platformer for Mario, like the N64, Galaxy, Sunshine, all that. It's also going to have what looks like probably an update port of Splatoon. Like, I imagine they're going to port Splatoon over and put in some patches, all that, new things in it to entice you to buy it. Otherwise, it also showed Breath of the Wild, which will be launching with the system. It also showed off, what else did it show off? It also showed off words, things. I fucking forgot. It's coming March. Okay, 1 sec. It showed off Skyrim. Yeah, Skyrim. Now I remember. It showed off Skyrim being played on it, because Bethesda just announced that they're partnering with Nintendo and all that. So we should start getting Bethesda games out there. I imagine we may even get a port of Fallout 4 to the NX, which would be really, really awesome, because they're porting because Skyrim Remastered is going to be on the NX. So we should be able to get the next Fallout, or maybe a port of Fallout 4 onto it, which really entices, because Bethesda's a big third-party developer, and them putting their games on Nintendo should show us some promise. If Bethesda's going to march out and say, hey, we're supporting Nintendo, we might be able to get Capcom back into the fold a little more. We might even get Square Enix. Maybe, just maybe even Rockstar on this, because you can see right there, you can see in the trailer that they're playing 2K16, 17, whatever number they're on right now. So that means EA is on board with as far as porting over their traditional yearly sports titles, which means we might get Battlefield onto the console. We get Battlefield, obviously Activision's going to jump on and throw Call of Duty out there, to compete. So we could possibly sign up both EA and Activision to the Nintendo Switch. That right there, we have at least 5 different third-party developers that are going to put games onto this. Sega has already confirmed with the Sonic the Hedgehog Project 2017. So we have several third-party developers already on board, which makes this a lot more promising. Also, the concept of the Nintendo Switch, you look at the trailer, if I was not on a hardcore person to games, I would look at this and I would get the concept a lot better than I would with the Wii U. Like I say, okay, that's a new system for Nintendo. It's going to be able to allow me to play my games both at home and on the go. It's going to be like me doing a Chromecast, but on steroids. How you could do your videos from your phone to your TV and all that. So I think that works a lot better on a different controller. You can take it out, split it, and set the tablet down and play it with the two little, things on it. So we can do that also. Two little sticks things. I don't know, kind of like how you hold the nunchuck and Wiimote, except without motion controls, which is another surprising thing. It doesn't look like motion controls are going to be a part of this at all. And you could also have a traditional controller and all that. I mean, Nintendo looks to be on the right track with this. Really, really good, actually, because the Wii U is their worst performing console, I think, ever. Maybe the Virtual Boy did worse, but as far as major marketed console, the Wii U is the worst thing Nintendo has ever put out to a home console market. I'm just hoping this succeeds. I'm really just hoping this succeeds. And as far as my rambling is concerned, I can't wait for it. As far as price is concerned, I'm going to have to guess right now is that the price will probably be around $399 at launch. Because think about it, you're this compact size thing and you're putting a tablet, all that. Nintendo is banking out a lot of... You're going to fork over a lot of money for this. But it looks to be worth it considering its console handheld hybrid. You're basically paying for two systems for one. You can take this anywhere you want to go. Anywhere you want to go. And you can play it at home. Think about this. You're getting like people would buy a Wii U and a 3DS. No, now you don't have to do that. You buy one console and you're done. This could possibly streamline. Nintendo can stop releasing the 3DS and just have the NS. They can have the NS and the phone market, my guess. And but this confuses me also, because according to the Pokemon Company, they said we will only release mainstream Pokemon games on handheld Nintendo products. This looks like a handheld Nintendo product. I don't give a shit what you say. This Nintendo Switch is a hybrid. It's both a traditional home console and a handheld. So, is Nintendo still going to release the 3DS? Because that seems like it'll be a contradiction. It'll be directly competing with the NS. Because the whole thing of the NS is Nintendo's response, for the most part, of how poor the Wii U did and how successful their handheld market has been the last decade. Nintendo has dominated the handheld market. In fact, they killed Sony out of it. The only thing competing with Nintendo in the handheld division is your cell phone. This is Nintendo's answer. You can't get these kind of games on your cell phone. You can't play Skyrim on your cell phone. You can't play a Legend of Zelda game on your cell phone. You can play like a little fucking... the equivalent as far as complexity wise of a Super Nintendo RPG maybe at most on your handheld. But you can't play anything that plays like a traditional modern game. This is what is pushing the limit. It's supposed to show that. That's what Nintendo is trying to go for as far as the market is concerned. And I see this succeeding extremely well. And at the end of the trailer, it says release March 2017, which means this is releasing with Breath of the Wild. Which means Breath of the Wild is a launch title for Nintendo Switch. So think about this. I'm expecting this Mario Kart, like some of the games, maybe not all of them, because I don't see that 3D platformer releasing at launch with the system. But I see Breath of the Wild, the new Splatoon, and the new Mario Kart all launching with the Nintendo NS. Think about that. That's Mario. That's Mario and Zelda both launching on a Nintendo console. Launching. Their Zelda game has never launched with a Nintendo system. Mario Kart has never launched with a Nintendo system. So Nintendo, two of Nintendo's biggest money sellers, because remember, Mario Kart 8 literally for a minute there dug the Wii U out of the hole. It sold so much. Thus, Nintendo throwing this out at launch, it shows desperate, and it shows that they're desperate. Yes, Nintendo is desperate. The Wii U lost them a shit ton of money and faith. They're trying to earn that back, and they need to earn that back quick, because meanwhile, Sony and Microsoft have been in this game longer in this generation, has been raking in all the dough. Nintendo's got to play catch up, and they got to play catch up quick. They got to win the hearts and minds of gamers and people everywhere now. They can't do it like, we'll release it and maybe like 2 years later we'll do it. No, they have to do it now. This has to do good at launch. Then from there, Nintendo has to keep the consistency up. But the whole thing is, if they don't grab them now, they're probably going to lose them in the long run. And especially since this thing is launching at March, which means they're missing out entirely. This is coming March 2017, which means Nintendo's going to miss entirely of this year's Christmas market. Nintendo needs... They need people to hold on and be like, hold on, save your money. This is coming in a few more months. They need this now. They need as much of an install base into this now compared to 2 years, 3 years down the line after the system launches. Now, another thing that I have failed to address so far is that, yes, it is not a disc-based system. This is going to be the first major market cartridge-based system since the Nintendo 64. Nintendo's going back to cartridges. And most people be thinking, cartridges? You mean like classic stuff? This thing's not going to be able to hold as much like the NC... No. If you look, they're using the same type of cartridge-based technology, the SD card-based technology they've been using with their DS and their 3DS. And these things, and you can't see it because I don't have a camera on me, but the Nintendo DS, 3DS SD cartridges, okay, I imagine they can get with they probably got them with a manufacturer. Probably like Panasonic or whoever. I can't remember the other companies that make them, but they probably gotten with an SD card company. And you can get an SD card. It is possible to have an SD card up to 1 terabyte of space. I imagine these are going to hold probably somewhere in the 64 to the 120 gigabyte range. Like, that's my guess anyway. Is what the max size of these cartridges will be, which will help a lot as far as Nintendo, because a common thing with the Wii U was it didn't have enough space. There was not enough any space for it, and I imagine that at the very least, Nintendo's thing, they have to have this built in with a terabyte hard drive. At the very least, you can launch with 500 gigs, but you need a terabyte hard drive with it. And a whole thing with, as you can see, like the Asti, maybe you're streaming the game? Like, this is a wild thing, because I'm looking at this tablet. I'm trying to figure out how they could fit everything into that. Because that's some very, very, very compact shit to run some very strong hardware. So my guess, maybe, just maybe, it's in the cloud? You stream it to it. I can't remember the name of that streaming system. The Ouya, maybe? What is it? That you can stream games to? Maybe they're doing something similar to that. But if that was the case, then you could possibly very much limit the whole thing with it. Or I'm just bullshitting and I'm completely wrong. But battery life is also a big concern. If I had to guess, I would say this thing will probably hold around 6 to 7 hours, maybe, before charge. Possibly because if you're marketing this as a handheld, it has to last a decent while. So I'm guessing 6 to 7 hours if Nintendo has half a fucking brain. Other than that, I am very excited for the system. It feels great to be a Nintendo fan right now. Really great, actually. And Nintendo might be making its comeback. Like the big comeback that we've been expecting for them. Like they jump ahead, they become the king of the industry again. And we don't have to hear about the Xbox Ones and the PS4s and they're bitching about their 4K capabilities. Or if they're VR compatible. Because I guarantee you, this isn't VR compatible. Nintendo has told us already that they're not planning to do anything with VR. And I think that's good. Nintendo knows when a gimmick's a gimmick. They're the masters of gimmicks for consoles. And the whole thing is, they realize VR is not going to be anywhere near the predominance that people think it's going to be for a long time. This technology, yes, it's somewhat old, still somewhat fairly new, but it hasn't reached the cost efficiency yet. It's not easy enough to manufacture to the average person to buy, because remember, the HTC Vive is like $700. I think the cheapest thing you can get is those mobile, is your Samsung, that Samsung thing, or the Google's VR helmet, which is just literally like you throw your phone in there. And because those are built for phones. Phone market, yeah, the VR is very cheap, but as far as your high production VR stuff, that's going to be a long way off. Because what they'll have to do, they need to get that thing lower than the console. That's going to be a long time before they can get the manufacturing to where they can produce this cheap enough. Other than that, I say Nintendo is on the right track with the NS. The NS, the Nintendo NSA. They're only one syllable away. But I'm glad, I'm excited. I'm going to love it. Everyone's going to love it. I'm going to go sit in the corner and just rock back and forth until March gets here. Because we got this and a Red Dead 2 trailer in the same day. Okay, and it comes after the debate. It comes right after the debate last night. Thus, I've come to the conclusion, this is the gift. If you sat through the debate, this is the world's gift to you. You get Nintendo and Rockstar at the same fucking time. It's your gift. The world might not end. We are going to survive, people. I will see you next time. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and check out my Twitter, SoundCloud, all my other shit, even my NSA hub, aka Facebook. See you guys then.